everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amber and today we are going to be getting into the International Baccalaureate program and whether it is the right choice for you. I was an IB at a public middle school and a public high school, and I actually was able to complete the diploma program and receive my diploma. I also, alongside with the IB program, took AP classes. If you are interested in doing IB at the middle school level, I would highly recommend that. It's just like joining another club on campus, same amount of workload as honors or a similar amount at least, and it opens up doors for you if you're interested in taking IB or AP classes in high school. You'll already have an idea of what kind of work you'll be getting in high school if you join IB in middle school. So middle school level, totally do it, that's my advice. But the decision gets a lot tougher when you're at the high school level. You have to consider the colleges that you're interested in, the social life that you want, the extracurricular activities that you're going to have. So those things do make the decision a lot tougher at the high school level. And this video I'm going to be talking specifically about the pros and the cons and some advice and helpful tips that I have for you guys to hopefully help you make your decision on whether IB is right for you. Alright, let's get to it. So I'd like to start this off on a positive note and talk about the pros of being an IB. The first positive of being an IB, and I think this is very important, is that it definitely does prep you for college. The amount of essays and the workload that you're going to have is very similar to what you'll be experiencing in college, and because you were so busy in high school with IB and the academic side and your extracurricular activities and whatever else you did, you are going to be ready to handle that workload and those clubs that you're going to be dealing with in college. So the intrinsic value that you get from IB of managing your time better and understanding the workload is definitely going to help you in college. The second positive would be that it kind of does put you at a higher academic status at your high school, especially if your high school offers IB, AP, and honors. When counselors would tell me about IB, they always like to tell me that colleges will look at your school and see what kind of programs you have offered. So if you do have IB offered and you chose not to take it, it's not going to look so great. So I went for IB because of that reason, and I think that does stand true a little bit. The IB students did typically have higher GPAs and they did get into some good schools. So I think that IB definitely does help in the college admissions process. I did IB based on that reason because I thought that it would help me get into a good college and specifically an Ivy League university or any of the top UCs. It definitely did help in the college admissions process. Another pro of IB, and this is more extrinsic, is that you will get credits for the tests that you performed really well on. Some students even say they were able to start as a sophomore in college if they received their diploma. So you get advanced pick in your classes and those types of things. So if you're interested in getting credits at a UC school or a state school, look into the school you're interested in and see what their policies are regarding IB on getting credits. The unfortunate thing is that not all schools accept these credits, and I'm going to be getting into that in the cons section. Another aspect that I liked of IB is that it comes with a tight-knit network, so you do get the same people in your classes and you do have advisors that are there for IB students only. My class even got a banquet that was just for IB students, and we have this little award ceremonies for IB students, so it's kind of nice having a tight-knit network in high school. The last positive thing that I'm going to mention about IB is that you get options for testing. So let's say that you are taking AP classes and IB classes. If you don't feel so comfortable taking the AP test, you don't feel prepared, you can take the IB test, but you do have to take the IB tests. But it can be as a substitute for your AP classes, especially if your school that you're interested in applying to for college takes both IB and AP credits. You can just use that as a substitute for your AP ones. Alright, now that we've touched on the positives of IB, let's get into the negatives. The first negative, and I kind of already touched on this, is that you won't really get credits for your IB tests at a private school or at an Ivy League. In general, IBs and private schools are kind of selective in the credits that they take. So with IB classes, you either have to perform really well or they just won't take it in general. Again, I would look into the school that you're interested in. I didn't get any credits for my IB classes at UPenn. I only got a couple from my AP classes, so they were very selective in general and they just didn't take any of my IB ones. The next negative is going to be the workload, and this is just killer. The workload is a lot. You have a lot of essays, especially at the end of the year when things for other people are dying down and they're just focusing on your finals. You have your extended essay, you have your internal assessment, you have your commentaries and your PowerPoints. So There is a lot of work towards the end of the year for IB students, and just in general throughout. You have a lot of deadlines to meet. You have to be very organized in meeting those deadlines and completing your assignments. I personally think that we had a lot more work than AP students, and this might be something that you want to consider. AP students will still get the same points for their classes regarding GPA. A lot of them still got into UCs and really top schools, even though they weren't an IB, and they did less work regarding the extended essays and the PowerPoint presentations and all of that. So depending on the school that you're interested in, IB and the workload might really not be worth it. You could take a lot of AP classes and make your whole schedule AP classes, do a little bit less work, and get into some really top schools. So that is something else that I would recommend that you all consider before joining IB or AP and making that decision on which one's better. IB, all of your classes are essentially really rigorous. AP, you can choose, hey, I'm really good at history, so I'm going to join AP World History, but I'm not going to do AP Calculus because I'm not so good at math. IB, all of your classes are going to be that rigorous, so it might even drop your GPA if you get a B in one of those rigorous classes. This is definitely something that you want to consider when deciding whether IB or AP is right for you, and seeing what your college is specifically interested in and if they really even care about the difference. Another negative of the IB program is that you are limited in your course schedule. You can only have courses that are within the IB curriculum, and you might be able to take 2 extra electives throughout your high school experience, 2 to 3 extra ones if you schedule properly, but for the most part your classes are going to fit within the IB curriculum. Personally, I couldn't take Econ and Government because that just didn't fit within the IB curriculum, so I had to take History of the Americas, which was an amazing class, but I did miss out on the Econ Gov classes that everybody else was able to take if they were in AP, honors, or the general curriculum. The last negative of IB is that you won't have as much interaction with other students because your classes are going to have the same people over and over. So I guess that's kind of a blessing and a curse. I did mention it in the pros, but you're not going to be able to socialize really with students who are in AP classes or who are in general classes or honors classes because they just don't have the same curriculum that they have to meet that you do. So it does make it a little difficult to really interact with the entire student body of your school or your entire grade. You could make up for that lack of different people in your classes by going and joining a ton of different clubs and participating in that way and seeing other new faces that way, but that is definitely something to consider depending on how social you are and how social you like to be. And now I'm going to leave you all with some final words and some advice to hopefully help you make the decision on whether IB is the right choice for you. The first thing that I think you need to do is to talk to the schools, the colleges that you're interested in, and see where they stand on IB. Will they accept credits from IB? Do they look at IB as the same status as AP or a little bit above or a little bit below? Where do they really fall with their guidelines regarding students who were in the IB program in high school and now coming into college? You could also reach out to alumni from your school and see what they did to get into the colleges that you're interested in. So were they in IB? Were they in AP? Did they think it really made a difference? And what extracurricular activities did they do or didn't do, or those types of things? The next question I think you need to ask yourself is, are you doing it to stand out in your application, or are you doing it for credits? If you're doing it for credits, I think that you should just take AP classes because you're going to be getting the same amount of credits if you do well in your AP classes than if you were in IB, and the workload might be a little bit less. If you are doing it to stand out to colleges and Ivy Leagues and private schools, then you might want to consider doing IB, but you also should talk to the counselors at your school, see where they stand with IB, and if a lot of students who were in IB get into those top colleges that you're interested in. Also talk to the alumni and see how many students who were in IB got into really great colleges. Another thing is that every IB program at every high school is going to be different, which is why it's so important to look at past year stats and which colleges they got into, what their general scores were, talk to counselors, talk to advisors, talk to the IB teachers and AP teachers, see where they stand, because your school could be completely different than another school's IB program. The last piece of advice that I'm going to leave you with, and I definitely struggled with this in my high school years, is not to procrastinate. If you do join IB, or if you choose to take a ton of AP classes, then I would recommend that you do not procrastinate. Learn time management early. And I know it's so cliche to say don't procrastinate in high school, but it honestly will bite you in the bum if you procrastinate, because your extended essays and your internal assessments for IB are going to come up like crazy right around the corner. You're not even going to know that they're coming at you, and you need to have good time management skills to really prep for those assignments. Okay guys, so that is all that I have for you today regarding the IB program. If you have any more questions, please make sure to leave them in the comments below, or if you have any other tips for IB high school students, make sure to leave them down in the comments so that others can see them and maybe plan ahead for their IB experience. If you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and be sure to hit that subscribe button and that notifications button so you know whenever I have a new video out. Thank you all for watching, and I hope that this was helpful in deciding whether IB is the right choice for you. I will see you all in my next video. Bye!